Hey there guys, Darryl Griffiths here for Jumpcut Online. I hope you're all doing very well and you're enjoying the sun. It's certainly not a bad backdrop at the moment. And yes, I do have a wolf behind me, part of a new exhibition at my workplace, Light S Media Centre, based in the heart of Wolverhampton. So it's not looking too bad behind me at the moment. So, latest review from Edinburgh Film Festival. I was embargoed for this one, so I've had to wait a little bit to get it out there. It stars two powerhouses of British cinema in the form of Timothy Spall and Vanessa Redgrave. It is called Mrs. Lowry Son, and it was the closing night gala at the festival this past Sunday. And it is based on the fascinating relationship between L.S. Lowry, who was deemed one of the most iconic artists of his time, and his mother Elizabeth, and it depicts their really complex, dynamic and fascinating dynamic in the heart of Salford in Greater Manchester many moons ago. And of course Timothy Spall, seems to be becoming quite renowned for playing artists and painters, if Mike Leigh's Mr. Turner would attest. And of course he plays the titular character, who is really trying to break out from Manchester and have his works appreciated, particularly in London, and it's very much a comfort for him, but there's a sense of melancholy about it as well, because he's basically doing this for his mother Elizabeth, and she is a tough nut to crack in terms of getting any sense of recognition from her, because she's ultimately the inspiration for these paintings, and for her, there is a real bitterness lying underneath her character that really manifests as the film goes on, and the way she sort of puts him down is quite harsh at times, and you really think that what's the point of L.S. Lowry carrying on, and it's very much confined. It's almost like a chamber piece. It feels like a piece of theatre a lot of the time within the running time, which is quite brisk really. It's only like 85 minutes, so at times it does feel very Christmas special at BBC One, in terms of how it's depicted and directed in a way, but there is some real neat flourishes as well. Like there's particular moments where L.S. Lowry, of course Spall, in this case, is trying, basically freeze frames the imagery at hand, and he slowly navigates it and tries to get the odd perspective from a character, whilst everything around them is just, it's like musical chairs basically. And that's a really clever approach into the insight of L.S. Lowry, and how because a lot of the time most people didn't necessarily get his style, and particularly his mother, of course. And Spall, it's a really both performances are terrific, no doubt about it. I think this, putting these two heavyweights head to head in a way, it was always going to spark fireworks, and it does. Spall is quite muted and considered, and you can really sense the anguish and fragility within his L.S. Lowry, and the way he does so much for his mother, and it still doesn't feel like he gets any real appreciation, and you can understand his stance on trying to break out and into a more appreciative and loving crowd. And Vanessa Redgrave, she's having a hell of a year. If you didn't see her in the West End show The Inheritance earlier in the year, which was it handled 3 generations of gay men, and she had you could say a glorified cameo, but my god, it was one of the most astonishing things I've ever seen, whether it's stage, screen, small screen, or big screen, small screen. And here, I mean, she might be in her twilight years, but she's still putting in some stunning performances. And again here, because her mind is so narrow in you know, her son must, you know, grab the attention of local arts critics, but at the same, and she has, you know, has a sense of, you know, snobbishness about her, that in a sense it feels quite playful, but at the same time it's very cutting in how she deals with her son, and it's hard to watch at times. But at the same time, the mere mention of London or somewhere else that's a bit further afield, she doesn't want to know. And you know, she swears blind that she appreciates certain paintings, and then in the next instance she doesn't. And you know, it's heartbreaking, but that's the brilliant dynamic that is set up between these two actors. And it's just a terrific chamber piece and a showcase for these two actors who have dazzled our screens for many a year. And sure, you know, it could dig a little deeper in certain plot points, like the film references their neighbours particularly, and that feels a little undercooked in a sense. And you really think they could dig a little deeper with that, because in certain instances it's quite intriguing in where they try and go with that. And in an 85-minute runtime, when there's so much focus on the main, you know, on the protagonists, it doesn't really, it could really fuel the Lowry and Elizabeth dynamic even more, and it doesn't quite develop enough to truly grab your attention. It sort of feels like it's just peppered to you know, keep within this brisk runtime. But other than that, Mrs. Lowry and Son, a terrific end to the Edinburgh Film Festival. Hell of a showcase for its two actors, beautifully performed. Sure, it could dig a little deeper, and at times in its aesthetic, you know, it can feel a little, you know, BBC, ITV special, but for the actors on display, it is well worth a watch for sure. But that is my review of Mrs. Lowry and Son. I hope you've enjoyed it. The usual social media plugs now: Jumpcut Online, Facebook, like our page, Twitter, Jumpcut_online, and the website, of course, where you'll find this and various other reviews from myself and our wonderful team. Much love, guys. www.jumpcutonline.co.uk. My next review, there's a couple on the Edinburgh Film Festival Videotheque, which I'm going to check out. There's a film called Alice, and there's a film called Schemers, which I'm really keen to check out. So hopefully those will be the next ones. But for now, I've been Darryl Griffiths. Hope you've enjoyed my review, and I'll speak to you soon, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take care. Bye for now.